Good afternoon. And well, I'm not late, no? Because I was asked to come here at 12:50. The National Bureau of Investigation just had a 10 a.m. Press conference. They just apprehended 3 hackers. I'll give you an inside information. It's actually not 3. They have 5 in custody. So wait for the next press conference. That's not the media, is it? Because I might get into trouble. Okay. But contrary to popular belief, I'm also actually the... should I? Oh no, they're still preparing the deck. But contrary to popular belief, I'm also actually the Undersecretary for Connectivity. So I'm not just the cybersecurity guy. I'm actually the guy who sits in behalf of the DICT at the NEDA Infrastructure Committee. And I just heard PLDT say they're no longer a telecommunications company. Where's PLDT? Yeah, so that means we'll delist you from the National Telecommunications Commission. So. NTC reports to us. You just said that. You're recorded. So is my deck ready, or should I click something, or no? Okay, because I'm running out of my alibis and my ad libs. And one more thing that maybe points to the right direction as to whether or not you're investing in the right community or in the right area in the country. I actually recently bought a lot nearby. I won't say where, because I don't know if you're one of those hackers who's trying to get to me. But I just bought a very, very good lot nearby. It's just a 5-minute drive from Clark. And a lot of senior government officials are doing so. So maybe that's also one of the indicators that... have you heard of the North Luzon Economic Corridor? You've heard of that? Yeah, so there is now a North Luzon Economic Corridor. And later on, I'll show you the infrastructure investments that we're having. But what is most important here is still no deck, yeah? Good. And the most important here is that we've done a lot of mistakes in the past. We're still doing them now, but a little less than in the past, I guess. But what we're trying to build now is what is called a trusted network, right? I don't want to share in geopolitics. I'm a civilian, no? But when I say trusted network, it's a network where BPOs, such as those in the United States, can comply with U.S. laws when you use the telecommunications network. That's one. And that's one of the main reasons why the North Luzon corridor is very important in our economic growth. So that's the reason why. There are some things I cannot say in public because they're regarded as state confidential information. But what I can share with you is that this North Luzon economic corridor is not just a corridor for agriculture, as what some of the corridors are. We're trying to decongest South Luzon. We're also trying to decongest the greater Manila area. And the next best thing to go to is Central Luzon and North Luzon. So that's why the government is investing so heavily in these areas. Okay, so my deck is now ready. Now I don't have to do my ad-libs. Again, good afternoon. Let me just share you some information. I don't know if you can hear this or you can read this, but you will notice I'll just give you some information about the Philippines, okay? The Philippines is 118.2 million in population. Quite surprisingly, Australia, which is like 25 times larger than the Philippines, only has like 25 million people, right? So we're 118 million Filipinos crammed up in this 7,000, I don't know, 600 now, I guess, because of the West Philippine Sea issue. 7,600 islands that we have in the Republic of the Philippines. Out of the 118.2 million people, we have 86.9 million who's connected to the internet. We count people who are connected to the internet are those people who have mobile phones, smart mobile phones that connect to the internet, or those who have internet at home. No? So if you have a mobile phone that connects to the internet, even though you don't have fiber at home, then you're considered as connected to the internet. That translates to 73.6% of penetration rate, or internet penetration rate. Every year, well, from 2023 to 2024, there is a growth of internet users by 1.8 million. What's good about our country is even though we're populous, we took our Catholicism very, very seriously. Even though we're populous, we are at a very young population. So the other countries, for example, South Korea, their average age is around 50. Ours is 20, 24, 23. So we have a very young, talented population. Unfortunately, 73.68% of internet penetration rate, but the number one internet use is not for education, it's for social media. Second is, not here, but the second is e-commerce. No? So Filipinos love to buy from Lazada and Shopee. We actually outrank Singapore, we outrank Korea, we outrank, I think the only country that comes close to us in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations is Vietnam when it comes to online buying. Now, despite the 73.6% penetration rate, there is a huge disparity in other regions. These red areas here are regions, especially this one, no? Mindanao, where the internet penetration rate is less than 15%. But notice here, Central Luzon, so this is Metro Manila, this is Southern Luzon, we're good. No? We're good. We're actually somewhere here, right? This is Cordillera kasi, and then Region 2. Region 2 Cordillera is around 30%. So, what we're trying to say is that even though the national average is 86 million Filipinos connected to the internet, there is a huge disparity per province. That's what we're trying to resolve. Because we believe that it should not only be connectivity, but equity in access. Sorry, Richard, if sometimes I have to speak in Filipino, but you're half Filipino now, right? So, para naman, everybody has to have access. Right? Hindi lang yung mga nasa Metro Manila. Right? Okay. Some other statistics. The next problem that we have, and I'm glad that PLDT is here because we always discuss with MVP about these problems, right? The next problem that we have is access. So I already discussed access. Access, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 6 in ASEAN. But the other problem is speed and cost. Notice the cost. We're like number 3 as the most costly internet in the entire Association of Southeast Asian Nations. In terms of speed, I don't know if you could call this bad, but we're still ranked number 6, although very far behind from the others. No? For mobile broadband, it's almost the same. So this is fixed, this is mobile broadband. So now that you know the problem, the next part of the discussion is, what the hell are we doing in order to resolve this issue? I lost a slide. Sorry about that. So I lost a slide. The next slide is supposed to tell you of the 3 things that we are doing in terms of connectivity to resolve the issue. And not in this slide, which I will discuss this later on. The number 1 that I would like to always point out is policy direction. You've heard of the Common Tower Policy? No? So we're now promoting the Common Tower Policy, and I have a discussion with the major telecommunications providers. Because right now, it seems that tower building is so irrational. There's one tower, 100 meters away, another, smart maybe will try to use another tower, and then some 150 meters away, Globe will have their own towers, etc. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of estate. It's a waste of power resources as well. So we're promoting the Common Tower and wait for the next 6 to 10 months. That's how fast we move nowadays. We'll come up with a Common Tower Policy from the DICT where we will rationalize tower build-up and promote sharing of resources. This way, the infrastructure costs will be reduced. No? But that's not only that. No? We're discussing also in PSAC, the Private Sector Advisory Council, which PLDT, Globe, all of them are members of. We're trying to also arrange what is called a fiber sharing setup. So if there's already fiber here, alam niyo yun, yung palagi naguhukay, di ba? who lives in a subdivision where it seems that 24 by 7, 365 days of the year, somebody's digging up. MWSA, your water, after that, power, after that, one telco one, another, the next few weeks, telco two, no? So we're trying to, so we have a working agreement with the DSDA, with the DPWH for a policy on dig once, and then second is infrastructure sharing, including fiber optics. We still need to get consensus, so you won't be able to hear from us about that in the next, not this year, but perhaps by next year. And last but not the least, we need to also share radio units or active components. This will, once we do that, we'll be able to reduce the cost of the internet significantly. I won't be discussing frequency rationalization to all of you. It's a very technical subject. But suffice it to say that right now, it is so irrational that telecommunications providers are forced to buy multiple radio units even though they only need one to service a certain number of area. Parang, ano kasi alam niyo yung, I don't know how old you are, but who here saw the Windows defragmentation defrag? Who here did the Windows defrag in your computers? Tas kamay? Oh, here are the 90s boys and girls, right? Yeah, defrag. Oh, radio frequency is like that. It's so fragmented that we have to defragment it. And that's also why you have so many scammers. See, we know the solution. We know. We just can't get the consensus in government and the private sector to implement it. But we know the solution. Okay? So one of the other program I would like to highlight is the free Wi-Fi program. This is already old news. It's now at 9.6 million unique users. So we were able to, remember what I was saying about the problem with access, right? So we're trying to provide access to those remote barangays where there is no internet. We've already serviced 13,120 access points in 1,384 localities, and this is already 9.6 million people. 9.6 million who originally does not have access to internet. Okay? Next, and this is where you'll love it. The National Broadband Program, PLDT was talking about cable landing stations. There was a project, 3 presidents, can't get it done. But we were able to launch it this year. I think that was it April, right? With the president. So there's a cable landing station up north in Baler. There is a small triangle. This actually goes directly to Lawag. And then there's a small triangle that goes to, so imagine a triangle. Baler, Lawag, sorry I can't reach it. I'm not that high. I'm not as tall as Richard. But from Baler to Lawag to Metro Manila, that is called the National Fiber Backbone Phase 1. That is already operational. That connects directly to the United States through the Meta PLCN1 connection. We have 2 terabits there. 600 Gbps was given to BCDA so that they can build their tech community wherever they are in Central Luzon and in Northern Luzon. But that can increase to up to 2 terabits per second. We're not paying 2 terabits if nobody's using it. But it can. Okay, so several fiber cores are exclusive to the Philippines. That's free. Of course, we have to pay for power, those kind of stuff. But the entire setup is free. There's an upcoming connection here by Frost. By 2028, the National Broadband Program would have been completed. We have a World Bank loan. Oh, another secret, I will be in Malacanang on June 25, explaining to the NEDA board, chaired by the President, why they need to approve the World Bank loan. Such that we can finish this entire problem of national broadband by 2028. So once the World Bank loan is approved, the entire Philippines will have a sovereign, our own connection that is clean. Okay? That you want me to tell you what clean is? Walang virus. Clean means that all the nodes are approved by government. No? We know that nobody's listening in those nodes. We're not using unsecure vendors, for example. No? And then, from here, I already talked to some of the governors so that they can connect to this sovereign fiber backbone so that they can power up their communities. But by next year, we will start with North Luzon and Central Luzon because the national fiber backbone is already up for North Luzon and Central Luzon. The rest of the country, Bicol area will be by the end of 2025, so it will be powered up by 2026. The rest of the country by 2028. Right? Okay. Don't worry, PLDT. We're not getting your market. Huh? You still, you can even connect to the national fiber backbone if you want. Okay. Sige. Now let me talk about another thing, the digital gap. So what is government doing to ensure that you have the right workforce for your companies? Well, remember, government we're not supposed to train people. We're supposed to nudge you in the right behavior because we let the private sector do this stuff. But let me express a problem. According to a 2019, the last survey was 2019, the digital skills in the Philippines, for basic digital skills, 6%, standard digital skills, only 2% of the population, and advanced digital skills, only 1%. You'll be surprised. But my kids know how to play games. My kids know how to do Facebook. Well, sorry, Instagram. Nahalata yung edad, no? Sorry, if you're still a Facebook user, you're old. Kids are now using Instagram, IG, and Twitter. So, tumatawa yung mga 90s boys dun sa likod. Unfortunately, basic digital skills is not about the ability to use Facebook. It's about the ability to manipulate to do basic tasks and manipulate files in a computer. So if your kid knows how to do Facebook or Instagram, but does not know how to find files and create folders, or to encrypt files inside the computer, they are part of the 94% who does not have basic digital skills. All right? So what are we doing? Training. I don't want to give you all the trainings what we're doing, but these are the numbers. But what's more important is we've already provided 3,413 online jobs to our trainees. I had one trainee here, ano siya, agta. You know what an agta is? No? You know? Indigenous community. So she's very shy and she's on a wheelchair. She can't move her legs. I think it was polio. I know polio should have disappeared so many years ago, but she has polio. Okay? After the training, she's now a call center agent now at home. On home call center agent. So she's earning, and she's very happy. This is the type of job that we're trying to do. She's one of the 3,413 people that we provided online jobs with. Now, I would like to invite you, the private sector, to help us. 17,000, 40,000, that's small. No, this is small. Sorry, the laser. Sorry. That's small. We have 18 million. We have approximately 80 million in the workforce. So that's small. We need the private sector's help. Miriam is here, I was informed. Miriam? Ayun naman pala yung Miriam. 2 of my kids, well, one's graduate na, but the smaller one is still with Miriam in Manila. Yeah. So, yeah. But we also already won 5 awards. The program itself, this program, the Digital Training Centers, was awarded by the United Nations. Di lang masyadong nanynews as one of the most innovative and transformative, sustainable projects in development of ICT in a country. So we actually received that award. Kaya nga 5 international awards. Right? This is coding for kids. We teach kids as small as 9 years old, 7 years old, how to code using Minecraft and Lego. If you want to know how to do that, we'll teach your teachers, not the kids, so that you can teach your kids. Yeah? And that's for free. I guess my last presentation is all about cybersecurity. What is it that we're doing in cybersecurity? I would just like to note that cybercrime is NBI and PNP. We're cybersecurity. If you contact us in DICT, our concern is to defend you. If you contact NBI, their concern is to apprehend someone. It could be also an internal actor. No? So we don't apprehend people, but we send reports to the NBI. No? Yan lang yun. That's what it means. So, DICT leads in securing Philippine cyberspace. You might have seen me in television. No? I was in TV just yesterday. Oh, you don't have TV na. YouTube na yung pinapanood nyo, right? So that explains it maybe. So, in the Philippines, 2,974 early detection. So we were already able to defend 2,974 attacks. Unfortunately, approximately 50 attacks, high level, went through. But there are more than 1,000 that went through actually, including LGUs. No? We've issued 564,000 digital certificates. Do you know that we monitor approximately 2.1 million attacks daily in the entire country? So, yeah, this is small. We don't have enough resources to monitor all. 2.1 million, you might think it's large, but it's actually small. I think I would be happy if my team would be able to say that they are monitoring approximately about around 10 million threats daily. The National Cybersecurity Plan was approved by the President this April. It's Executive Order 58. If you want to read about it, please do, because that will help your companies as well in trying to secure your resources, your internet resources. Most importantly, we are now focusing on security of supply chain. Na PLDT, ha? Sorry kayo, favorite ko, wala yung Globe eh. Pag nandito yung Globe, di favorite ko rin sila. PLDT, ha? Supply chain, ha? Tinititigan ko kayo. Nakita ko yung mga procurements nyo, ha? At kung kanino nyo binili, ha? So we're focusing on security and of supply chain kasi it seems that right now, prevalent yung pinakamura, yun yung bibilin eh. But we have to now be more security conscious. That's what we're trying to do. So in the next 2 years, we're getting arrangements for certification of ICT equipment so that we can endorse, even to the public, what cybersecurity equipment you should buy and what you should avoid. We won't be saying you don't buy it. If you still want to buy it, then do so. But at least you know, magkakaroon ng star rating. Oh, you buy a router, 0 star. Eh, okay lang. Yun yung kasya sa budget mo eh. But remember, 0 star yan. You understand the point. So, forewarned is forearmed. No, parang ganun. All right? So, I think that's my in closing, no? Before I close, I would like to state that connectivity, if we resolve the issue about connectivity, everything that I explained to you, 70% of the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations would be resolved. That also, by extension, means that 70% of the Ambition 2030 goals of the Republic of the Philippines will be solved. Do you know that for every 10% increase in penetration rate, that translates to 1.38% GDP growth, which is equivalent to $6.07 billion in our GDP. So just remember that. So that's why we need to resolve connectivity. But here I'm not saying it's resolved. It's a little better, but we still need to increase not only us. Remember, what we're doing with the National Broadband Program is to nudge the behavior. The private sector has to work. We need 35,000 more towers at least to cover, acceptable pa yun, ha? Hindi pa yun fast, for an acceptable mobile coverage for the entire country. 35,000 towers just for this year. Because if next year the population grows again, we need more towers. That's how much investment we need. That's why we're pushing for the common tower policy. And remember, ito na yung promise, ito na yung closing, because Richard is already anxious. So in closing, I would just like to state that the Department of Information and Communications Technology is not about technology. It's about using technology to connect lives. Our mission is for the betterment of the Filipinos' life by leveraging on communications technology. We believe that there will come a time that technology is not only transformative, it will be a basic requirement. As easily as you need water every single day. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.